how's the beautiful souls doing today? Hope everything's well. Hope you're safe. Hope you're healthy and wealthy. Let me start off by stating that I'm going to continue on the path of where I was leading to, which is no longer schooling. You get the point. Now we're going to do the work thing, and I'm not going to bore you to death with too much of that. But basically, think about it. I want you to correlate the difference when you think about it afterwards. So, for instance, maybe you're retired now, maybe you're not. Again, for the souls, So, school's done. Now we get a job. Now they want you to work. Work, 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 work. You're young. You're full of piss and vinegar, if you will. And, some have 2 jobs, some are paying off their college things, and you gotta work your butt off just to pay that off. So you see where that's going with that as well. I don't have to get into it. So you're working, your 19s, your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, 65. Oh, it's time for retirement. Just enough time to enjoy the last little bit, if they have it their way, that is. They worked you to death. Think about that. They worked you to the bone. They made you pay your taxes. You barely could make it, so now you needed 2 or 3 jobs in some cases. What do you do with that? So now you're retired, and now you don't either have the funds to do anything, or you can't move because you're just all crippled up, too old, which is another belief system, but I'll get into that when we really get deep into the matrix. I'm going to leave this kind of stuff alone because I'm just bringing you up to speed that what they've done from the beginning. So now you're retired. Now what? What do you do with yourself? Well, for some, can't get out of bed because you're too broken, like I said. Some can't afford to go anywhere, so you putter around the house and tinkle with, building stuff, or working on the car, or mowing the lawn, or go check the mail, and you getting where I'm going with this. Again, it's monotonous, I get it, but think about that. They work you to the bone till 65. Some got to keep working beyond that. I know a lot of people that had to work in their 70s and 75. One didn't know what to do with themselves, and 2, one couldn't afford it, stuff like that. So, and then also in between the jobs, now you met a woman, as I mentioned before. You fall in love, and some of you get married, and then some of you have kids, and now you got that to contend with. You think, oh, it's so lovely at the beginning, which is probably true. I myself don't have any kids. I guess it was in my contract not to, and that'll be explained as well sometime soon. And now you're bombarded. Now you're bombarded with thoughts. Oh my God, college intuition for them now. You're still paying off yours, but now we got to worry about the kids' funds and the mortgages and the groceries. And if it's today's market, oh my gosh, the prices, So think about that. I just want you to think like your brain's going like, ooh, 100 miles an hour. What do you do with that? You feel like you hit a block wall. You ran into a wall, sorry. You feel like you can't escape. Your chest is tightening up, and it's hard to breathe in this matrix, But most of you don't know it's a matrix. That's the thing. See, you think this is normal. Okay, everybody else is doing this, so I got to do it too. And again, let me emphasize on, I'm not picking on the workforce, because without it, this world wouldn't exist. Let's face it. I also thought, they say, well, you should work for yourself. I agree. I'm in the process of doing something myself, and I did my time, and for what? It was just a waste of time. It was experience. I shouldn't say that. Sorry. Just drink some water here. So it was an experience, but once you know the truth, it's hard to go back. It's hard to go back. Sometimes I have nightmares of the thought of having to go back to that rat race type of lifestyle where I was chefing in a restaurant and the machining world, and they push you more and more and more and more and more and more. It's never enough. It's busy. We're busy. Work 7 days a week. And 12 hours a day. Not at the restaurant, but machine shop type thing. I mean, it's crazy. Because they fell into that trap themselves. And as an owner, I get it. You got to make the money to pay the bills and the employees. But that's a whole different ball game with the employees. They're the ones that make the companies. Without the workforce, they don't exist. Companies won't exist. You're sitting in your cubicle in some cases, fluorescent lights that are just blinding your pineal gland. I mean, research it, what it does to you, these lights. That's why another reason I usually don't like too much light, even though I'm light inside. I have a light, which is my spark, my source spark, my fractal self, but we'll get into that. Just throwing little bombs, what's coming. But, you get where I'm going with this. It's just like a never-ending cycle. You get up. It's Groundhog Day. Think of that movie. If you haven't watched it, watch it. It's so boring and stupid. That's what I thought the first time when I watched it. I'm like, who the hell would make such a movie? But then when I started awakening slowly but surely with knowledge, holy crap, it's exactly that. And it was meant to put out there for you to see. Same with The Matrix. Same with all these other movies. I'm going to name off a bunch at one point too for you to watch. And I go to them over and over and over, When I'm feeling like a little bit depressed, man, I go to The Matrix. Why? I don't know why, but it perks me right up like there's no tomorrow. And other favorites that I have a ton of them. But Matrix was the number one anyway. It was always my go-to. But it's just like this pounding the pavement, and then, oh my God, day in and day out, get up, and just like the Groundhog Day, you're just redoing it, reliving the same day over and over and over and over. And yes, you are. It's not yesterday, it's not tomorrow. No such thing. There's only ever now. And this day. All you're doing is repeating the day over. They made you believe there's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They made you believe there's 365 days a year. They made you believe that you age for every birthday, which is another lie. You don't have to age if you're a soul. It's lies, but we'll get into that in another video when I start getting into the juicy stuff, as I mentioned. You yourself are programming yourself to age, but I don't want to get off too much off the tangent here. But come home, do this, do that, got chores to do. Oh my God, like by the time you go to bed, you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. And some are in the 30s and 40s and 50s, and then you get to the 60s and you're really, really crunched. You're like, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. I can't wait. And some of you are so tired that you take early retirement, screw yourselves that way because they took your money, but when it comes time to giving it back, good luck. But I don't want to push too much on that stuff because, I don't want to be the conspiracy kind of guy, but, because everything here is an illusion to begin with, so nothing really exists except the rules that you have a contract for. You contracted, to come here, and whatever says goes. And you think, well, this is an illusion. I can do what I want. I can go running around like a psychopath, or I can party hardy all I want, and it's just an illusion, right? Wrong way of thinking. And it's unfortunate. Like I said, I had to learn. I had to go through the process. I had to learn a lot of stuff. So just something to think about. I mean, really go deep down inside. Start your, which when you can remember from the beginning, going to school, going to grade school, going to high school, and like I said, I just jumped from high school to working because some majority did that. Um, I mean, I was never motivated to work. I just couldn't get out of bed. I didn't like want to work. I just didn't. Something was telling me, don't do this, don't do this. Yes, I ended up working, but I mean, I hated it. And I went through jobs, some I didn't show up for the first day. I mean, I had to find what I love. And even then, when I found what I loved, I would miss days like once a week, once every 2 weeks, and get hammered, and I ain't punishing myself going to work. I said, screw that. I'm not punishing myself ever. That mentality. Oh, man. The sobering life is, oh. And I don't mean that just in drunkenness. I mean that as in everything in the Matrix. The sobering of everything. The truth, the knowledge. It's sobering. And it's cool. I love it. When I found out, all this stuff, it's like, wow, now I'm intrigued. Now I want to do something with this. So I decided to put out a journal, diary, vlog, whatever you want to call it, to myself, to put it out there. But if any soul is interested, it's for you. If it's not interesting, that's fine. I'm not asking you, but I'm hoping by this point you are awake enough to know that something's not right. I mean, just take a look at the world without really getting into the news and all that garbage. I mean, it's there to keep you distracted. All of it. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. Yes, there are heroes for standing up. I get that. But imagine this. Imagine there's nothing outside of yourself. Nothing. It's all in here. Right there. Right in your pineal gland. Right? Let's just say, for instance, which it is, but there's nothing outside of yourself. Close your eyes. What's out there? Nothing. They give you a visual. Your movie's playing in your head. That's what you're seeing. But imagine not going out there and protest. Not going out there to fight for the freedoms. Fight for this. You're fighting against yourself. It's your movie. It's your journey. It's your game, and it's all being played right here. I know it's a lot to handle, but man, when you realize it's the truth, comprehend that. So my point was, now you're giving them energy. Now you're going out there fighting. I'll bet you a lot of it is all purposely done. Well, I know for a fact it is, but I was trying to make it simple. It's all put there to distract you. So while you're out there doing that, you think you're doing a good deed because there's all these people that are saying, "Oh, what are you doing about it? Are you doing anything about it? Are you getting off your butt and going to fight for freedom?" Guess what? Guess where your freedom comes from? Within. If you're dreaming, and we will get into that by the next, I will get deep into the Matrix, what it is, what you should be doing, what you should not be doing. But go within. And don't give them the energy. This is what keeps it going. If you would just go, stay home, go within, and one day the whole world did that, it's over. There's no more. No more of this. Because they need your energy to live off of. So I'm going off a little tangent here because it was supposed to be about work, but that's the point. And that's another thing you can add to your list. You're working, you're this, you're that, and if you're the type that likes to protest, I'm not picking on you. Thank you. Thank you for fighting. Thank you for the freedom. But is it going anywhere today? It may make subtle moves, but they let you believe you have that. They gave you a little bit. Trust me, this whole Matrix is scripted. Everything is the way it's supposed to be today because it's run by a script. So what are you really accomplishing? You're giving up your energy, your time to the Matrix. Again, I'm not picking on the fighters, the freedom fighters, whatever you want to call them. That's great. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for fighting for everybody's freedom. But it's taking time out of your life now. Your energy. You're getting tired now. Now you're working. Now you're doing this. Now you're going to school. Now you're doing this together. You got a family. You got kids. You got worries. You got bills. Now you're going to go out there and fight for freedom on top of that because everything is being swallowed up. Your whole life feels like it's done. You know, they're forcing you to do this. They're forcing you to do that. But guess what? You're making that choice. Yes, you are. You're making the choices for certain things that was going on there the last few years. You made that choice to take it or don't take it. You made the choice of going out there and getting yourself arrested and more trauma, more bills, you know, fines. I'm going all over the place, but you get. That's why I'm doing this, is because it's like too much. You got attachments hooking to you right, left, center. You know, it's just step back, take a deep breath, and analyze what I'm saying. Let it sink in, even though it's all over the place. I apologize for that, but you know, I'm not much of a speaker, but I'm hoping to get better at it. But again, I'm just pouring my heart out to the camera, and that's where I'm leaving it. But I learned, do not, and I was one of them. Oh no, I can't have this. This is horse crap. I ain't putting up with this. You know, no way, no way. Then slowly trickling down, the truths start coming. I wouldn't change it for the world. Yes, I have days where I'm frustrated. Yes, I have days where it just gets crazy. And yes, I get mad as well. But I'm working on that with certain things, you know. What I eat, how I eat it. You know, this all makes difference. Just because one thing works for one person doesn't mean it's going to work for another person. I learned that, you know, all the hype about this. Oh, I'm going to do this. Well, it didn't work. Oh, you didn't do it right. Okay, I do this now. Oh, you didn't do it right. See, me too. I work myself up because I get the feelings, the attachments to what I used to have, and I need to let it go. Because just remembering that, which is past, you don't want to be in the past because it takes away your now moment. It's dead and gone. Why go over there?